John Mulrooney.
John Mulrooney, you remember Mulrooney?
Sure, yeah.
I remember he was kind of huge out there.
Yeah.
I think so. I remember Mulrooney was by far, him and Kevin Meaney were the two guys you didn't want to go after. I remember Mulrooney would just destroy a room. He was so loose and would dominate the room, and then they bring you up and you're like, oh, goodness gracious.
God. Magistrate. So is it criminal court you preside over? Workers' comp. A workers' comp. Oh, shit. Fuck, you saw it, Judge. You saw it. There were two little steps at the end of this thing I tripped over. Oh, these are just, dude, did you make these? They're like, just like storm windows. What the hell is this? There's like no refraction to them at all. Are you kidding me? Are they plastic? What is this? I just want to look important, goddammit. I just want to be able to make a point to somebody. Good God, man. We're going to go to that comedy show, and I'm going to bring my goddamn book just in case it... If you're a man, you know, do not answer in matters of the heart. Always defer to the missus. Just look. It's like, oh, are you married? How many years? 28. Oh, do you have any kids? 2, 3. At their 63rd wedding anniversary, I got a hold of my grandfather. I said, so, Pop, you married 63 years. What's the secret? He said, I've only been home 3 weeks. All right. Because I grew up in Brooklyn, so I learned, oh, hey, how are you? Can I get a ride home? Yeah, I grew up in Flatbush. Where? Oh, my God, I went to Brooklyn Tech. Do you know Tony? What are you doing out here? Witness protection? Are you at the bitter old dudes? So growing up in Brooklyn, as you know, it's a melting pot, still is. But so growing up, I was exposed to all these languages, so I was corrected very early. There's a difference between Hebrew and Yiddish, and it's all because I dated a lot of Jewish girls. They won't marry the goyim. If you're wondering what a goyim is, it's you. Right. If you're wondering what a goyim is, it's you. That's the qualifier on that one. You know, and the way they used to say it, they would make it sound like it's a disease. He's got goyim. Basically, a non-Jew is a goy, because you know what they say: once you go goy, oh boy. So I dated a Jewish girl from Manhattan Beach, and had to learn a little Hebrew. And in Hebrew, it took me a while to learn to pronounce her name correctly. In Hebrew, her name was... In English, it was Audrey. You guys have been great. Have a terrific night.
John Mulrooney.
Hey, me. What is that? Your attempt at humor, Phil? Is that supposed to be funny?
I'm sorry. What day is it?
Now you know how I feel when you're telling a joke.
You're still recording?
We're still recording. I'm John Mulrooney. That's Phil.
That's about all the time we have left for today. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hey, let me see your 3-minute sizzle reel, okay, jackass? Let's see what you do with your little comedy skits. With your little,
if it's 3 minutes, it's not a sizzle reel, John. It's a documentary. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
30 seconds. You could have cut it off when Adam Sandler just said, "Hey, John Mulrooney's good." All right.
So today, as you can see by our ticker, which is rolling by, today's Monday, February 24th, 2025. Oh my goodness, it's 9:49 already in the morning, and I am coffeeed up and ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. I am in lovely Florida. Let me see if you can I'm just going to swing this around real quick. Can you see out there? Can you see, Phil? Can you see the golf course?
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
I'm out there in Florida. I'm here in lovely Miram.
You gotta turn your avatar off in order to look at the outside, John.
My avatar.
I just saw when you moved away, it was just the Great Awakening background. No golf course.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll work out the kinks later.
Whatever, we'll figure it out.
Right.
Oh, so my avatar popped up?
Well, when you move, just look at the screen. It's just
Right.
your avatar. See?
Okay. All right.
It's your
Whatever.
background.
Whatever. Anyway, we'll figure it out. So, good news, ladies and gentlemen. Joy Reid is canceled.
Jeez, it's about
Dude,
time. He was horrible.
She was worse than horrible. I love this. Think about the irony in this, because she was such a race baiting. Today, this is Black History Month, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's black, and now she's history. Coming at you. Come on, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you play that open again? I need another 5 minutes.
She's black, and now she's history. And dig this, because she always was leaning into the race baiting nonsense. It looks like Jen Psaki is going to take her place.
Wow,
a white chick, right?
What an improvement!
It's, you know what I mean. It's the race thing. You know how she always leaning into the racial nonsense.
Thing,
but I get it. But what does she look like? She's Peppermint Patty, right? From Charlie Brown. Doesn't she look like Peppermint Patty, Jen Psaki?
She looks like Raggedy Ann or Andy, one of them.
She looks like Linus. Or Pigpen. Pigpen was the other one, right?
She looks like Jaundice. I mean, she looks like a I mean, she get a little. Go out in the sun, Jen. Jesus, it's not gonna kill you.
Phil, it just keeps getting better over and over and over again. It's just beautiful. It's just magnificent. You know, you're going to get tired of winning. I'm not tired of it. Every time one of these jackasses get their comeuppance, it's another little bit of relief. You know what somebody said to me?
No, it's not yet. Not yet. This isn't even the appetizer.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that. This is the appetizer. This is definitely the appetizer.
When Adam Schiff hits, that's when I'm gonna start getting excited. When Adam Schiff walks the freaking plank, and that pencil neck, mealy mouth. I mean, and then Pelosi with Trump selling the billing over the weekend, wanted to sell the billing over the weekend that she has in San Francisco. That's the type of stuff that I want to see happen.
Oh, wait a minute. That Nancy Pelosi building, I thought that was in Washington.
No, it's in San Francisco. It's in her district. That's the beauty of it. He is such a savage. This guy, everything he's doing, John. It's great.
What is that building? That Nancy Pelosi building that he wants to or he is selling it?
It's up for sale. He said it needs to be sold. It
was a federally owned
federal building, which no one reports to apparently.
I heard that. I heard that it was empty. He was selling it off because it wasn't being leased. It wasn't being used.
Yeah, but it was the Speaker of the House. This is what it was called: the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi Federal Building.
Oh, please! It should be called the pterodactyl of the century.
Or the
what's that?
Or the stable where she parks her hooves. Her and Maxine.
Dude, when you showed me Maxine Waters' feet, I still can't get that image out of my head.
I haven't been able to sleep.
So apparently, here's another thing. More good news. Vance was at CPAC over the weekend. I'll see if I can find a clip of that. But I'll basically reiterate what he said. Or was it the turning point? Whatever. He was speaking to one of those.
CPAC was over the weekend because I watched some of the Trump speech, and that was just amazing.
Well, see, Vance was. I thought he's 40 or what? 40 or 42? How old is Vance? Do we know? He's a young guy.
I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway, he was saying we're done with the vilification of men in our society. Did you hear him say that?
Yes.
Dude, it was so good. I've been saying for years, and you have too, I was exhausted from being beaten on for being white, being a man, and now the trifecta being quote unquote old. Now I'm old and I'm not one. What was Letitia James' quote? Too male, too pale, and too stale.
Please, call Peekaboo. Peekaboo.
Yeah.
Her name is Peekaboo.
Peekaboo. Well, she and Cash should cross the street together because they each have an eye looking in both directions.
Oh, come on.
It's comedy, baby.
What
It's
are they
comedy.
feeding those people in that New York district courthouse? I mean, her and Bragg, they're tipping the scales at big old.
Oh my God! If she and Bragg got on an elevator with me, I'd have to get off.
Oh, I wouldn't. Are you kidding?
No,
I'd start jumping up and down. John, you just put 2 birds with one stone there. I mean, you got 2 airbags surrounding you there. You just go nuts. It's like one of those bounce houses.
I'd be looking at the weight limit on the thing. And I go, yeah, these 2 are definitely going to bring us.
No, I'd be checking the camera first, make sure that's broken, like the Epstein cell. Once that goes out, all bets are off.
Silly rabbit. Segue is for kids. Epstein this week, right? Today, maybe? What do you think?
Oh, it's
Epstein
Monday.
and Diddy?
It's Monday. Yeah, no, it's Monday. You got to let them sweat the rest of the week. That's a Wednesday. That's a Wednesday.
You think?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, you can't give it to a Monday.
Well, Bondi said she was in there over the weekend watching it. What's that?
It's on her desk. Bongino's got to get enough cuffs for all these people. I mean, there's a lot of cuffs. You got to get the planes ready for Guantanamo. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has to go into this.
We didn't even cover that. So apparently, Bongino is now the deputy director of the FBI, correct?
Yes.
And Cash is the acting director of the ATF. Oh my God. You didn't know this, dude. My cousin was the director of the ATF for 2 years, Tom Brandon.
Really?
Yeah. And Phil, shocking unto this day, he became one of them. I couldn't believe it. He's a Marine, decorated Marine. One of us growing up, we played like kids play. We were,
Yeah, but why couldn't you believe it? It's money. That corrupts everything, John. I've seen it happen to family. I mean, like, I've seen it happen to family too. It corrupts everybody.
I honestly, Phil, I don't think it was money. I don't know what it is, because think about these people that aren't making money off it and are still affected by this.
John, it's money and power. Those 2 things hand in hand. The ability, I mean, come on, the ability to just have that title. Think about it. Anywhere you go, you're part of that club.
I got to tell you something funny that happened once. This is a cop story. So I was working in my little town in upstate New York, and
the one that George Wallace loves so much.
Yes. George Wallace, great comedian, big as a mountain. Wasn't his nephew? We're getting off the subject, but this is relative to the story.
Oh, everything is George Wallace related.
George Wallace is this mountain of a guy, very funny dude. He's got a new sitcom coming out too, by the way. Anyway, George Wallace, I was texting him back and forth for something. Oh, he was sending me his new book, and he said, "What's your address?" And I sent him my address, and the town I was in is named Coxsackie, and George writes back, "Cox Happy." And I had lived there for like 10 years, and it never dawned on me. But George is gay. And he wrote back, "Cox Happy?" And I was like, "Yeah, for you, I guess it's Cox Happy." Anyway, I worked up there for years. I had a job in the town I worked in as a cop. And a guy came in who had a felony, who went to try to buy a firearm. And he not only tried to buy a firearm as a felon, he also had an active order of protection against him. So I had to go find this guy and scoop him up. And when I scooped him up, the charges that were pending against him, I wasn't quite sure of what to charge him with. There was some that were maybe, and others that were, for sure. So my cousin was the head of the ATF, and I called him up. I said, "Hey, Tommy, this guy, here's what I got, blah, 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 this and that." And he goes, "Here's what you can probably charge him with, and here's how to go about talking to the guy." He was really great. He gave me great information. So he goes, "Here's the number of the field agent for your district." He said, "Reach out to them when you're done, and then call me back." I said, "Okay." So I draw up the charges, I charge the guy. We run him through the system. And I get a call about a week later from the field agent that my cousin told me about. And she said, is this Officer Mulrooney? I said, yeah, we have a guy here that did such. And she goes, how did you know how to charge him? These charges are perfect. How did you figure this out? And I said to her, I called Tom Brandon. There was a pause. You could drive a truck through. And she went, you called the head of the ATF? And I know I got her on the hook. I'm going, I wanted to make sure I had the right charges, honey. I'm not messing around like with you people on the ground. I'm going right to the shit. She goes, you called Tom Brandon? And I finally had her after the third time, and I said, yeah, he's my cousin. And she was like, oh my God. Yeah. It was great. Hey, man, nepotism has its privileges. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just ask Hunter.
Good one.
He just disappeared. You notice everything just disappeared.
And to that point, I was having dinner with some folks last night, true believers like us, real patriots down here on the Gulf of America in Florida. And one of them asked me, they said, do you think that Hunter turned state's evidence or part of the White Hat operation? In my opinion, absolutely yes. He didn't accidentally leave that laptop. He was raised in that SRA, Satanic Ritual Abuse family. I think I have to be careful saying that if we're going on YouTube with this, but he was raised in that family, as was people like Anderson Cooper. And I can't fault him too much if that's how he was brought up. I mean, even Q says not all will be arrested for the sake of the cause, but all will comply and all will be put into submission. So he probably falls under that category. I feel somewhat bad for people like that. They were raised as kids to believe this is how things are done.
And there's no honor among thieves. I mean, come on, think about it. His father would have sold him out. How many times probably his father did sell him out? We don't know anything. We don't know anything. The only thing we know is that we know nothing.
Oh, Phil.
Hey,
that's why. Look at you with you talking like old Zen-like type. You must have been talking about, you must have been referring to that Confucius Chinese Chinaman over there. For a guy who was so smart, I don't know why they called him Confucius. Huh? You know what I'm talking about? Hello?
I can't believe you got by for so long with those jokes.
Okay, so you said something to me earlier that I found fascinating. So Pete Hegseth, fired all.
It's in your email. Check that out.
Stand by one. Let me grab that.
There's actually a video from a guy in the Navy who describes what he did, and it's just like the moves, Sean. Like we see the moves. A lot of people don't realize what Kash Patel is going to do. A lot of people don't realize that. They just think, oh, it's another Trump appointment. No, there's so much history there. They really tried to dox this guy. They tried to ruin this guy. And then it's layering. Like all of these people, they have something that was done to them. Bongino, same thing. Think about Bongino, Secret Service to Obama. Do you know what he knows? Hot dogs and pizza. We're going to find out about everything, I bet. This is going to be great.
Is it in the one that's, Navy Jags. I see it. Okay. Yep. Stand by one. All right. Stand by one. Let me get myself to that. Mega. Hold on just a second. And you found this on X? Okay.
The only news source there is right now.
You know what? You are correct, sir. All right. Hold on just a second. It's been a whole 2 days since we started doing this. So I need to share screen this guy on X. And just a second over there. And This guy, right?
Hey, look at you.
Hey, look at me, man, with the fancy stuff over here. All right, let's see what we got. And action.
General of all the military services. The media and pundits are predicting a crisis, but noticeably with zero specifics. Former Secretary of the Air Force, Frank Kendall, said that this truly frightens him because these are the people that interpret the Uniform Code of Military Justice and the people who have independent legal authority to tell any military commander that an order from the President or the Secretary of Defense is unlawful and cannot be obeyed. While this is an accurate description of the job function, Kendall offers zero argument as to whether the officials being replaced were faithfully executing that function. I can't speak for the Army or the Air Force, but I have definite personal opinions about the Navy. Of the last 4 Judge Advocates General of the Navy, 1 was found to have committed unlawful command influence by interfering in a court-martial for political purposes to keep an innocent man in jail. 1 received a report of felony criminal conduct by another JAG admiral, not only buried it, but actually named that admiral as his own successor. And the most recent Judge Advocate General, who rushed a retirement package 2.5 months into the job, probably to avoid being prosecuted himself for misconduct. A retired military judge told CNN that the move to replace JAGs is extremely concerning because they serve as the conscience of the military and the moral guide for what's right or wrong. Nobody's offering a specific defense as to why the outgoing JAGs served as an effective conscience or moral guide, because they can't. The status quo in the military justice system has failed our warriors. I have full faith in Secretary Hegseth that he will ensure that smart and ethical leaders are appointed to fill these roles and to serve as the conscious and moral guide that our military needs.
Finally.
Who is that guy?
He's Joe Blow, the love of man. I don't know, John. It said in the thing.
Dude, stand by one. Hold
Stand
on.
by it. I'm not related to him.
What do you want from me?
Cox happy.
Cox happy. Oh, so last night Dan Scavino.
Oh, okay.
No, Scavino. He posted the Pope is dead. The Epstein list is coming out. And I forget what the third thing was.
So you think the Pope and the Epstein list have a little something to do with one another?
I do, and I think that. So here it is. It's a standby one. I've got it.
John, you know how they love their triangles and in threes, right?
Yep.
Gold, Pope, Epstein. I think that's it. It's going to be knocked down just like that because something's going on with this Fort Knox stuff. The Vatican, remember the Vatican and the gold, all the gold at the Vatican?
Yep.
The plane loads of gold. Now, this is Trump's first term, remember?
Right.
All the gold that was repatriated?
Well, yeah, right. They said allegedly 650 plane loads of gold bullion from the Vatican were flown back to the U.S. over the last couple of years, correct?
Yep.
All right. So I'm looking at this. Okay. So here it is. Let's take a look at it right now. It says we're hearing Pope Francis is now dead and was a major pedo. I don't doubt that for a second. No offense to the Catholics out there, none taken. And the Vatican is trying to cover up his death for as long as possible. Now that's from, okay, so that's Real Raw News. I don't know about Real Raw News, but Scavino posted it over the weekend too. All right.
But when anyone says no offense with this Pope, none is taken because this isn't my Pope. I mean, this guy was never my Pope.
This guy was evil.
Yeah, you could see it immediately. Benedict. It started with Benedict. Benedict looked like that Star Wars villain.
Have you ever? I'm sure you have, but I'm going to look it up. The Pope's mitre. It's actually
the fish thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
That's a wormhole. You just ruined someone's day. As soon as you play this, you banish someone to the wormhole.
And this is only one. Okay, so this is let me get to images. All right, so stand by. This is This is a Google Images of a bunch of stuff from the Pope's Mitre. So now, generally speaking, this is what we see from the front, right? Now, I never gave much thought to it. I always thought it was kind of over the top, pardon the pun, and a bit much as far as like, like I don't remember Jesus ever being written about or spoken of wearing these types of bizarro costumes. But from the front, this just looks like an overly done type of crown. However, if you look at it, check this out. If you look at it from the side, okay, it's a fish head. You see the mouth open here?
Yep.
It's a fish head. And this is what a filleted fish looks like. And that's why the things go down around the back. This one here actually shows kind of this from the side looks like the fish's eyes. If you see it from the side, you see this one over here.
What religion was that?
That was the Babylon Fish King. That's where it came from.
The Babylon Fish King, right.
The Babylon Fish King. Now let me pull that up. You saw the Pope's map. B-A-B-Y-B-A-B. Fish King. Babylon Fish King. It's the same friggin' hat. Where do we get to it? Here it is right here. You see it?
Yeah, that's just not right.
You see, this is the same hat that the Pope is wearing. It's just styled a little bit differently. That's it. So this weird ass stuff has been going on for a long time.
And I sent you something in the chat. There's also a diagram. If you look, I think this is what plays out.
Okay.
It's in the chat.
I got it. Yep. Stand by one. Let's see. Oh, this is hold on.
Because you love your diagram so much.
I love my diagrams. Oh, this is a short one, but hold on.
Yeah.
Stand by. Stand by one. What's that?
It's about 5 or 6 seconds, I think.
Yeah, hold on just a second.
But this pretty much sums up, you talk about the Fish King.
Yep. Give me a second. Share screen.
Anything now.
Hey, dude. I'm figuring out. Hey, man, I'm figuring out the chat. I can't figure out how to get the chat into standby. Private chat. Let's see. This one. And yeah, I can't figure out how to get that clip into this. All right, we'll move on to the. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, the momentum's gone. We can go to the next story.
Liz croaking on X. Here it is. I got it. I got it. There we go. All right. So this is who now? Liz Crokin on X? Okay.
Yeah, she is great.
Can you see that?
Yep.
You can see, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
Wow. Hey, Phil, you're making fun of me? That was 6 seconds long.
Well, and it took you 8 minutes to get to, but that's all right. We'll get it eventually.
I'm sorry, Phil, I can't hear you. Phil? Just remember, I control the mute. All right. So let's see. What else you got here? You sent me some fun stuff. Joy Reid, Supertramp, Navy Jags, hand signs. We covered the Pope. What else?
The Super Trump was great. Did you see that?
Super Trump, I did not. Stand by one.
You're going to want to go out and get one. And you're in Florida, so you might be able to find one.
Super Trump.
You might have to come to this side of the state to get it, though.
This is awesome.
Oh, okay, here we go.
I would love to fly that over Pelosi's house. How great would that be?
Come on, man.
Wow.
Dude,
Tell me that's not the greatest thing ever.
that is a classic. Oh my God.
That is so neat.
I love it. This is what we do. This is how we win. Look at this thing. That's
Move.
amazing.
It's great. It's fantastic.
It's a bird. It's a plane.
You know what? I gotta get one. I gotta fly it over every liberal city in the U.S.
Oh my goodness, John! You fly that. I mean,
genius.
oh my goodness, you fly that over the Village in New York, and it would be the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Hey, have you seen the Fafo song yet?
No,
You haven't seen that? Stand by.
no.
This is amazing. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up for you. It's I don't know who came up with it. I'll play a little bit of it because I don't think what do you call? I don't think it's copyrighted yet. But hold on. Yeah, I played it last night for a bunch of people. It's really well done, and I don't. This is how scary CGI is. It's really, really, really. It's so good with the stuff that they can do for it. All right, stand by one. Watch this.
Oh, I did see this. I saw this.
This was so good.
You laughed, you mocked, you shut us down. Call us names, tried to run us out. You pushed too hard, took too much. Now you're the ones who've lost their touch.
Rich McConnell.
You rigged the game, you changed the rules. Gaslit the world, played us for fools. But tides have turned, the storm is near. Cry all you want, we're still here. Faithful!
Faithful!
Well, you got to stop playing it now because you don't want to get flagged.
I don't want to get flagged. Yeah, because yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know whose joke this was. Corso was telling me the other day. He said, I went on Jeopardy and they said, famous flags for 500. And I said, I'll take Liberace, Alex.
Corso. How's his headshot?
You know what? I was supposed to have lunch with Brewer today. I'm gonna have to take Corso with me and get him endorsing him in a headshot.
That headshot. Can you show the headshot? Is there a headshot lying around somewhere? Can we get that by next show?
Yes, for Corso.
Yeah, we got it because it's the greatest headshot ever.
All right. What else we got going on over here?
The Tom Cruise thing was great when you look back on it now. You should have that in your email.
Tom Cruise, was it in that group of emails or was it
No, it was from this morning.
Oh, I see. Maha, Tom Cruise. Yep. Okay. Let's see what we got going on over here. Stand by one. Maha, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise.
Because if you remember when this happened, they tried canceling him, saying he was crazy. And if you look at him closely, just doesn't look like the same guy as the Tom Cruise that was in the Top Gun 2. Just very strange. The plastic surgery or whatever the hell he had done.
I don't know. You think it might have been what do you call
2.0?
2.0 could possibly. I don't know.
Watch the video.
Lightning over here. Okay, stand by one.
Here we are today, where I talk out against drugs and psychiatric abuses of electric shocking people, okay, against their will, of drugging children with them not knowing the effects of these drugs. Do you know what Adderall is? Do you know Ritalin? Do you know now that
it's
Ritalin
good.
is a street drug?
Turn it up a little bit.
Difference is
No,
this was
no,
not
Matt,
against
Matt,
her
I'm
will,
asking-
though.
Matt,
But this wasn't
I'm
against
asking you a
Brooke's will.
question. Matt, I'm asking you a question.
I understand there's abuse of all of these things.
No, you see, here's the problem. You don't know the history of psychiatry. I do. All it does is mask the problem.
He's right.
And if you understand the history of it, it masks the problem.
He's right.
That's what it does.
Watch. And he keeps trying to cut him off because the
You're not
pharmaceutical
getting to the
industry.
reason
Watch
why.
Flower.
There is no such thing as a chemical imbalance. And I'm saying that drugs aren't the answer, that these drugs are very dangerous. They're mind-altering, antipsychotic drugs. And there are ways of doing it without that so that we don't end up in a brave new world.
Yes, there are abuses. And yes, maybe they've gone too far in certain areas. Maybe there are too many kids on Ritalin. Maybe electric shock is...
kids on Ritalin. Matt,
I'm just saying, but aren't there
Matt,
examples where it works?
Matt, you don't even, you're glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is. If you start talking about chemical imbalance, you have to evaluate and read the research papers on how they came up with these theories, Matt. Okay? That's what I've done. And you go and you say, where's the medical test? Where's the blood test that says how much Ritalin?
He looks awake as hell right there, doesn't he, John?
And he looks, and not only does he look, he looks pissed off, and he looks like the Tom Cruise that we
remember.
That we remember. You're right.
Yeah.
This new one.
No,
dude, you're 100% right, dude. You're 100% right.
That clip did something to me when I watched that today. I was like, wow, that guy is not that same guy who would take a China patch off his jacket.
Dude, it's, you know how this works. Executive privilege. This morning, I'm listening to
not
David
a China
Nino.
patch. What's it called? The Taiwan patch off his jacket. That's what it was. Yeah.
I'm listening to David Nino Rodriguez, and he had on Jaguar Wright, that woman that's really like hooked into the urban community music and culture and everything. And she said that she wouldn't mention the person's name. This is where it gets annoying for me. And I get, if you can't.
Yeah. I hate that.
But anyway, but she said something, and I agree with her. She said, when Chappelle was offered the $50 million to keep his show going and turned it down and went to Africa, she said this person, whose name she did not want to mention, told her that Dave Chappelle never came back from Africa. And Brewer even said that Chappelle that came back is not the same Chappelle that left.
No.
Whatever happened, whatever they did to him.
And it brought the birth of Kevin Hart, if you notice, too. The second he left.
Wow, dude, that's right. The timing of that. Yes. And even Cat Williams addressed that. He said that he came into Los Angeles, went away, came back, and he was a star. Who does that happen for? You know, Cat's plugged in, and he's over the target.
So plugged in.
Cat is plugged in, and he's over the target. Wow. Well, she was saying, and Brewer, last time I spoke with Brewer, he agreed. He said that Dave Chappelle, he not only was different in his whole
everything,
his
everything
physical appearance, because apparently, Chappelle was a really slightly built guy, and when he came back, he looked like a bodybuilder.
Yeah,
it was like, what the hell is this? Now the story is he was offered $50 million. The backstory is that year that he was offered the $50 million, it was 2006. Obama was about to make a run for the 2008 White House. And they wanted Chappelle to keep going with his show, but they wanted him to stop with the disparaging black characters, but lean into the goofy white characters. And if you notice the trend these days, if you're a white man on television, you're either gay, you're stupid, or you're way in the background somewhere. And that's part and parcel why we just heard J.D. Vance at CPAC say the time of being a man, being vilified for being a man in America is over. And to me, the undercurrent of that was specifically white men, because they have been attacked.
But look at the way they push Modern Family, John. Look at the white males in Modern Family.
Agreed.
Come on. It's like every single time you turn on the TV, every commercial, and I hate to say it because, oh, you're a racist, but a black woman solves every problem and the white guy's a freaking moron?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, come on. Should be an Asian woman solving all the problems.
Or at least not driving them around to places over there, because that could be dangerous. But they wanted Chappelle to keep going, and apparently Chappelle said, "That's not how I do my show. I go for what's funny, which is what comics are supposed to do." Yeah. And according to Brewer, who retells the story from pretty much a firsthand account, he said that Oprah, I don't know if it was Diddy, but someone on that level, Quincy Jones, and two other very prominent black celebrities showed up at Dave's house in the middle of the night, unannounced, and leaned in and said, "You need to understand where you are. You need to take this gig, and you need to do what we're telling you to do." And apparently that's why he went to Africa. And this guy saying he never came back would make sense. If they offed him over there or re-educated him or did whatever, who knows what they're capable of doing?
John,
I don't know.
Ricky Schroeder got the tape. Chappelle got the visit.
Yep.
I mean, you don't wear the dress. I mean, come on.
All right. So for people who don't know, the tape, according to Ricky Schroeder, as a child, he was a very famous child actor. What was the show he was on?
Silver Spoons, The Champ. He was in everything.
He's like in his 50s now. He's a grown man. He manages his own ranch. He's like a guy's guy. He said he was shown a snuff film when he was a kid, and he said he was brought into a room with very prominent people. The rumor was later on that one of them was Steven Spielberg, and they were trying to get him high and drunk, and he wasn't taking anything. And they said, "You know what happens to people that don't go along with us?" And they intimated that Heather O'Rourke from Poltergeist, that beautiful little blonde girl, was taken out because
a helicopter accident on set.
Is that how she died?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I didn't know.
Yeah, on set. That's why it's so hard hitting. And there was another guy. There was a guy who died as well, I think, on the set.
But the point I'm making is, thank you for that.
But John, think about Brandon Lee too. When you think about on set, it's like, oh my!
It's always on set. Yeah.
And then Alec Baldwin on set.
On set, Russ. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Wow. Wow. And it was because
them together.
Whoo, man.
Big Mike. You just had a Big Mike moment.
There's a lot of them coming. And that's why you said, to the point, I wanted to get back. I want to circle back around, Phil.
Okay, Miss
To your point, no, you made a great point earlier. You said that this week, who was it that said that? Was it Pete Hegseth that said that those are asleep this week should need to stay asleep? Did you say that?
No, I don't think it was Hegseth that said it, but someone had said it this week. They said if the people are asleep still after this point, let them keep sleeping because they're not going to be able to handle what happens this week.
Because what's coming is going to be, and if it's not this week, it's coming eventually. I mean, I don't want to put markers on it, but it's coming, and it's so shocking. And this is the point that Phil was making earlier. The first night that Phil said to me that Michelle Obama was actually a man, and I went, "What? Was that 5 years ago now, Phil, or more?"
It's actually more than that because it was while Trump was in office. Yeah,
5-6 years ago, Phil said, "Yeah, well, Michelle Obama's a man." I went, "What are you talking about?" And you started with that maniacal laugh that drives me crazy. There it is. And I said, "What are you talking about?" And you went, "John, you don't know?" And I said, "No, what?" And you directed me to 3 websites and one of them was Reddit. I forget what the other two were, but I will never forget that, because this is what it's going to be like for the people who are about to see what's coming. I went,
okay, you know what? You know what?
Well, hold on,
you know
Phil,
what?
Phil, let me
Yeah,
finish.
go ahead, go ahead.
I didn't sleep. Not only did I not sleep, I could not settle down the whole night. Like it was hitting me in waves, what I had just seen, and the realization of the depth of not just the deception, but the depravity of what I was seeing. And then wondering why. And then as the months progressed, I found out why. And that was another thing I had to accept. And you're right. And this is Cliff High said this. He said the normies and the sleepers are about to get they're gonna, it's like trying to fill a Dixie cup with a fire hose. What they're about to experience.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't it great? Dixie cup with a fire hose. What they're about to experience is going to psychologically disable them. And that night, when you told me that, thank God it was late at night, because I had a whole 10 hours to get it out of my system. But it took days, maybe weeks, for me to take it in and realize that you were right. And like, oh my God, this whole thing has been a lie. The whole thing has been a giant deception. It's really, really unsettling. But this is.
Yeah, no, I apologize too for not being a little bit more, that's one of my character flaws I have to work on. I'm not so subtle.
Let me give you a list of them. No, you know what?
Because that's a gut punch. You don't even realize it. It's like when I tell people these things, I don't realize the reaction. And I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to tell you that kind of feeling.
But it's good for anyone who might be listening to this, because I used to say, smart people learn from their mistakes, and really smart people learn from your mistakes. So if you're revealing these spiritual truths to people, what's that saying? The truth shall set you free, but first it's going to piss you off. Yeah. If you're revealing these to people and you see the reaction similar to the one I had, back off. Let them process. They're going to need to process this stuff.
Well, you brought up Brewer before, and I brought this up to you. I was angry with him when he used to, because I met Brewer when I was a baby, like literally a baby in New York City, and we were working on the same show. I was working on his show, and it was like I would almost get angry with him because, just as a joke, a Yankee fan, a Met fan, and like he would make these parallels between the evil empire and politics, and I'd get so irritated because that was my world, and it hurts. Like, you have a relative who works in the media industry, and there's a parallel there too. When you're surrounded with it, it's hard to accept it because it's in your face and it crushes everything you know and you were brought up to believe. And in an instant, you have to just swallow this pill that you're like, what? Everything's a lie? What? My money is evil? You look at a $20 bill and then you look it up to a light, a new $20 bill, which, by the way, I haven't even told you yet. Look at a new $20 bill. On the back of it, it's George Bush's face, not Hamilton. And there's horns and there's smoke from 9. Where are we, John? What are we living in? And that's what people, you talk about the Great Awakening. Some people can handle it. Some people can't. Some people go down the wormhole and start researching it. Like a member of your family, your brother, is a perfect example. He's now telling you stuff. You woke him up and he's telling you that's the way it works.
Like Corso said to me last night, it was a brilliant insight. He said, The Matrix is a documentary.
It is.
It's a documentary. This is how brainwashed people are. I put this thing up on Facebook yesterday, 2 days ago, about RFK Jr. And he was talking about, I didn't know what a gamete was. A gamete is apparently some type of indicator in men and women. And depending on how the gamete is interpreted, it's male or female. That's the bottom line. Gamete is this one's male, that one's female. And that's the common denominator between the two. And I put that up, and I put it with a post that said, for anyone who's gender confused, daddy's home and the BS stops now. And I put it up with his explanation of a gamete. And someone actually writes back, I kid you not, what about the 1.7 intersex people that are born?
Hermaphrodites, they're in porn. What
about
they got jobs forever.
Excuse me. The 1.7 out of the entire population, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
What? What about? Okay, we'll have a party. I don't. What? This is how friggin' brainwashed people are. Are you intersexed? How many people do you know are intersexed? I'm not hearing them out there complaining about stuff. And if they do, we'll give them a day off. What do you want?
You're missing the point. The 1.7%, think of the money they'll make on T-shirts alone. Come on. These people got it made. I wish I were 1.7% of something.
Listen, both of us have gone up like 3 octaves and we're sounding like Seinfeld. Who are these people? Who are these intersex people? I'm not sure who they are. If you have a penis, you're a man. If you have a vagina, you're a woman. And if you have both, you're 1.7% of the population. Ooh, 1.7, 17. Hey, that's where'd you get that?
That's Boca Grande. It's the Gulf of America. Yeah, that's rule number 17. That's the credo for Boca Grande.
Oh my God, I love
You know what rule number 17 is, right?
I do not. I'm about
Brewer's
to find
favorite
out, though.
saying: "Don't be a dick." That's rule
Whose is it?
Brewers, don't be a dick. That's the greatest saying ever. Rule number 17.
If you had to boil down the 10 commandments.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
Into
greatest.
Forget the golden rule, do unto others. Let me give you the Brooklyn short version of the Bible and a golden rule. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, that's it. That's what life comes down to.
Here's life in a nutshell, kid. Try not to be a douchebag. All right? And here's the caveat. If you find, because I'm responsible for that myself, if you find occasionally you do become a douchebag, don't be above apologizing for it.
Yeah,
all right.
You always got to apologize for everything. I find myself apologizing all day long.
Well, your parents should be apologizing to the world right now.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Oh, hey, how you doing over there? All right, dude, we're coming up on an hour. I don't want to go too long. What do you want to cover before we
and pick one out of the email I sent you. I mean, I sent you a bunch of stuff. I forgot what I sent you. That's how much stuff there was last night.
Girl Scout cookies. How about that? Because yesterday,
John, yes.
Okay. So yesterday I bought Girl Scout cookies.
What kind?
And what's that?
What kind?
I bought the
Don't say the mini thins, the mints. The
I
thin
didn't
mints?
No, I didn't buy those.
Those are the most toxic.
No. Oh,
yeah.
Jeez.
Wait. And it's from a reliable source. That's what's killing me.
All right. Oh, geez. Okay, hold on just a second.
They're selling them. Now's the time. They're selling them in front of Sam's Club. They're selling them in front of Costco, Walmart. They're all over the place.
This is so bizarre. You know how this works. This is you want to explain what executive privilege is as I bring this up?
Don't buy Girl Scout cookies. That's what executive privilege is. Holy shit. When you hear the stuff that they put into these things, those little sluts. I never liked the Girl Scouts. Boy Scouts I trust, however. Girl Scouts never trusted them. Thin mints my ass.
So this is Joe. Hold on. Let's see. This is Joe on
Girl Scout cookies contained. Scroll up. Back up. Those studies on Girl Scout cookies where they break them down and find out what's in them. Oh, holy shit. They're fucking toxic as fuck.
That about sums it up.
Thin mints being the worst offenders. 5 flavors of Girl Scout cookies contained. Scroll up. Back up. Contained levels of glyphosate and heavy metals above EPA water safety limits. New investigation found 100% of tested Girl Scout cookies contained glyphosate. 100%. Controversial herbicide and Roundup. 88% contained toxic metals like arsenic, lead, and mercury. Key finding: Thin mints had the highest glyphosate levels at 111.07 ppb, 334 times what experts say is harmful. Peanut butter patties had the highest heavy metal contamination,
What
with
else I
lead
was
reaching
eating?
42.5 ppb and aluminum at 27,500 ppm. 76% of cookies tested exceeded cadmium safety limits, and 96 contained lead.
That's wild.
Girl Scout USA, which sells 200 million boxes per year, $800 million in revenue, did not respond to researchers before publication. I wonder why.
Respond.
I wonder why.
Of course, you have innocent little girls
Oh,
selling it. What an
my
easier way to poison. How much easier do you get to poison someone? Little girl.
And Phil, I stopped with some folks last night. We played bocce ball outside. It was nice. Had pizza, and I brought and somebody brought the Girl Scout cookies, and I bought them. We had the peanut butter ones, the ones he was talking about, the s'mores, and something else.
Cadmium,
I forget
what
what
they
the
put in batteries, right? Cadmium.
cadmium.
And
Yeah,
lead? Jesus, John, throw those away.
yeah. No, dude. Now I'm going to. That's just And that little girl was cute. You know what's funny? As I was standing there talking with her and her mom, I'm looking at them, and they were so cute, and the mom and the daughter were just adorable. And I'm looking at the cookies and the packaging and everything, and I'm going, it dawned on me, this is really very slick for a mom and a little girl who are obviously just doing a cool mom and daughter thing. This is way too slick.
Oh, wait till I see those bitches outside the thing. I'm going to be like, oh, yeah? You want me to buy them? You little sluts? You whores?
How come Girl Scout cookies aren't made out of Girl Scouts? That's what I got to ask. Oh, my
It'd be better
God.
for you if they were made out of Girl Scouts.
Who was a comic, John Knight, he used to say, how come battered women aren't deep fried?
My God, those little
Oh, my God. That is, wow. Girl Scout.
100%, John. It's not even like 95%. It's 100%. That means if something's 100%, John, what does that mean? That's by design. Come on.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Wow, that's really, you know what my brother used to do when he was a kid?
I don't think we can say that.
No, we can't. He's not a cop anymore. He and his friend do you remember when men would go to the bar, have a couple of drinks, and cash their paychecks on Friday? The bar would have a big, okay. Yeah. So that was a big thing back in the day.
Come home with no money.
What's that? That's why you'd come home broke, right? So every Friday night, there was Herb's Tavern down the block from where I grew up in Brooklyn. And as my mother said, it was a real bucket of blood. It was a pretty rough place. But on Friday night, it was safe Friday in the evening because working men would go in there, have a couple of beers, cash their paycheck, and go home. And that was the perfect time for my brother and his friend to show up in their Boy Scout uniforms and sell cookies to the drunken men who had all his cash in their hand, right? What they didn't know was that the good little Boy Scouts just stole those cookies from the A&P market from around the corner. So they weren't even Boy Scout cookies. And they would go in every Friday night, and these guys never got hip to it. And you know how I'm the same way. You see a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout, I'm like, come here, kid. Here's $20. Give me 2 cookies, you know. They would walk out of there with, you know, talking 50 years ago, 40 years ago. They'd walk out of there with, 80, 90 bucks in their pocket for cookies that they stole from them.
Great.
Now I don't know what that merit badge, it's the felony merit badge. I don't know how it looks on the sash. I mean, it probably comes with your mugshot. But hey, listen.
Your brother should have been in Congress.
Our president has a mugshot in his office. So it all depends on the perspective. Anyway, wow, Phil, a lot of stuff you sent me. Great stuff. We got an hour in the can, so I don't want to go too long with this one. We'll have more tomorrow. We're moving as we go along. It's the Great Awakening, consciousness, comedy, and conspiracies. All we're going to do as many of these as possible. What are you laughing at?
Our show has a Mexican name. It's like there's.
What do you mean has a Mexican name?
How many different names? The conspiracy theory, genius, Great Awakening.
Yeah. Phil and John's amazing, terrific show that you should watch on a daily basis so that one day we can monetize it and get YouTube to pay us so we don't ever have to leave and do the show in our underwear.
All right, time's up.
Yeah. All right.
All we do is just have your opening and just the name of the show, and we're done.
And we're done. All right, so I'm John Mulrooney. That's Phil Iazetta. We're gonna throw up another one of these tomorrow. Hit like, share, and subscribe, like what it says over here. All right. More on the way. Peace out.